you can. Pigeon toe bitch, pass it to my mans. Pocket rocket on me, that bitch in my hand. We gon' get the sliding in that minivan. But that girl so good, she can't even stand. Let's get this understood, you're inferior, you understand. Said that you was with it, but you up and ran. She eat my dick aphrodisiac, I get mine, best believe in that. Calico spot on no see the cat, this blunt in the face, I need to pack. Going against me, you losing that. 200 on dash, not cruising that. Get smoke till a nigga get cataract. Hit a leg on a nigga, then double back. The double God told me hit hard like a Kimbo. Kick dough, better get low like limbo. Clips on me, they all on limbo. That just mean everything extendo. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Asking for money, little bitch, oh you dumb or what's all of that killing? I'm digging on the guts. Yeah, one night I'll tell her we'll stay in touch. Thought this go crazy, they really be in the what's dodging the snakes. These niggas is venomous. Give you some shells, I'm really too generous. Just stop trying to make it look effortless. That bitch is called bitch. Dive in a mosh pit. She suck, use must spit. Shoot till that gun click. Got rap, still want more rich. I'm a psycho, so who more sick? I hit, need a quick fix. Not like you, I'm a misfit. Yeah, that girl need closure, so I slumped her over. Yeah, she finna Nola. I think she went by
Okay,
Mocha.
welcome to another episode of the Guys Podcast titled "In Education." First and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to Capo and Mary for the intro song. That's something we're gonna be doing from now on. It probably won't be every episode, but it'll be every couple of episodes. I'll try to find an up and coming artist to basically have their song introduce the episode of the podcast. Since this is the fifth episode, technically, I guess I kind of want to give my feedback on the last couple episodes that we did, and maybe I guess the purpose of what this podcast is. I guess I'll start with feedback first. Honestly, and you guys can pitch in. I got fucking Dragon and Hawk with me. It's basically
Yeah.
a small set today. But my feedback for the first four episodes, I don't count the pilot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was very unorganized, and honestly, I've been thinking about making it private because it was a lot of bars that got off in that episode that I really don't want to promote anymore. So like, I think I'm gonna just leave that. I'm gonna leave that in the past, and that's just gonna be that. But starting forward, like after that, I like how we've pretty much just gotten on board with how we got our own little steez going on now, and it seems like I don't know. I feel as though this is like really authentic because I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but I feel as though you can really get a feel of how we are just from listening to like an hour or so of conversation. So, you got anything to add on to that? On how you feel
Um,
about the older episodes?
they were definitely learning experiences. I think we've come into our own as far as what we want to say and what we stand for. Um, I know a couple episodes kind of got rowdy when we added more people. It was fun, but um, it definitely kind of got out of hand. So I think going forward, when we do add more people, we got to definitely sit down and kind of coach them on what to say, what not to say, and kind of keep things in check.
Dragon, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad. I was just turning on my headphones. But yeah, I agree with Hawk. I feel like the smaller episodes really help people, get in their own, really think about what they want to say, and just do some critical thinking. I feel like it's way harder when we have like 8 people in this bitch, cause you know, shout out to T and shit, but it's just too much.
All right. So, I think I should explain the purpose of this podcast. The purpose, the reason why I made this is because I want this to be a bridge, essentially, for all other mediums of art and expression. So, like, essentially, I would want people to use this as a hub to like meet new people, figure out things that we're all into or whatever, and see if you can build new ideas and stuff like that just from like once I actually bring back Gigi shoutouts, I'll be able to have hopefully introduce people to other people and just see if like new things can be made because honestly, we need more creativity in the world, especially with all this negativity. Like we definitely need some more positive influence and impacts on the world because like it just seems as though we're all focused on the negative, and it's simply because that's all that it really seems like that's all that's happening is just negative shit. So like really I just wanted to create this podcast to basically have a way to blow off some steam, I guess. So that's pretty much the entire purpose of this, and it's really why I want to have more people just come check us out sometime, and hopefully they can meet some new people. So we're gonna jump right into these topics here. Um, I did have a couple of other topics, but like since we took a week break, some things happened, and yesterday we had the loss of Chadwick Boseman, the star of Black Panther. So one of you guys want to start that off? Give your thoughts.
I'll go. Do you want to go first, or?
You got it. You got it.
All right. I think it's pretty fucking heartbreaking. Uh, he practically fucking put Black Panther on the map for a lot of people. Like it was their first time getting exposed to the character, and I think he did a fantastic job portraying him, and he was a very great part of the Marvel MCU. It's really heartbreaking to find out about this. I understand why he didn't tell the media and like everyone about his battle with cancer beforehand, but it's really just heartbreaking to wake up to and just find out that he unfortunately didn't make it. But my thoughts and prayers are out to his family and friends.
Hawk, you can go.
Yeah, I mean, he was a terrific actor. I know most people will know him for Black Panther, but he definitely did a lot of other low key films. Like he represented James Brown, and then he just had a Netflix movie with Spike Lee called The Five Bloods. And I definitely think was specifically The Five Bloods. I think he definitely cemented his legacy as a phenomenal actor, and I definitely think I'm definitely glad it was released before he passed. Um, and then salute to him for doing all of this while fighting colon cancer because he got diagnosed in 2016 and he done a lot of movies between 2016 and 2020 that's very action intensive and media trips and interviews. So for him to conduct himself as a professional all the way to the end is powerful. It's something I'm gonna take away from it as something to as a way to maneuver better with the days I have left on this planet. So salute to Chadwick for everything he contributed to the community.
See, that's the one thing I don't want people to actually take away from is the need to want to work yourself to death, essentially, because it may seem inspiring to have someone who's battling cancer to go out and do, like you said, 10 movies and to visit other children who's dealing with the same illness that he has, and he understands how that feels, but he can't tell no one. But at the same time, I feel as though I don't think I really feel as though he should have just been able to rest. I'm gonna be real with you. I feel as though be able people shouldn't have to feel like they should have to keep their illnesses a secret. People shouldn't have to feel like they have to basically keep it to themselves to just be perceived as strong. I would rather you I, I'm not like ignore the contract obligations whatever, and let's just talk about it like as a person. Like you that I feel as though listen, it's very admirable for someone to do what he did, but I feel as though people are taking a wrong message from it because it's like you're going, "Oh, he did this and he had cancer and he was battling it for 4 years and no one knew." Bro, we were essentially watching this man die and we didn't know it. That is some sad shit. I feel as though, like, yes, he was able, thankfully, to like be within the company of his family during his last moments, and they actually had the chance to basically put that news out there to us that he passed without fucking TMZ or like whoever else getting to it first somehow. But like honestly, people shouldn't work themselves to death, and people should like take illnesses more seriously. Like
I mean,
fuck that movie shit, bro. Like I
I
really
don't.
go ahead.
I don't think he
I don't.
worked himself to death though.
Yeah, me neither. I think he did it probably because like it was a way for him to get his mind off things. I think it's like from what I saw in interviews and stuff about him talking about making film, I think he really enjoyed acting and it was his passion. And I think he just did it to get his mind off things. It was a way for him to just unwind and leave something behind.
Oh no, I mean I feel that 100%. I feel the whole passion thing. It's just that something like that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's like I don't I it just makes me feel weird that people are admiring the fact that he did that. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I just don't want other people to go out and feel as though they have something to prove to themselves or to other people that that's what strength is. And I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of tenacity to go out and do that. Don't get me wrong. I have no idea what it's like to deal with cancer. But like at the same time, I really feel as though you shouldn't do that to yourself.
I
That's
mean, I feel like just like you said, you're not entitled. I feel like you're not entitled to tell people what you're going through. Um, it's like I feel like he did what he thought was best for him. Like we see how TMZ does things, and the media in general kind of skews things. I think he felt he wanted to keep this thing private. I mean, he was even in all life he was private. He really didn't do too many much
yeah.
interviews or speaking engagements like that. So I mean, this is on character with him. Um, but I also know the big takeaway is that black health, because colon cancer is prevalent in the black community. And I know they tell us, do colonoscopies in your 50s, but, we're more predisposition to face these types of illnesses. So I think this is going to bring awareness to, get your yearly checkups, know your genetic tree, and just, take care of yourself overall.
I disagree. I think the type of awareness it'll bring is like, yeah, we should have an open discussion about it, and then niggas is just not gonna do it. The same thing with like when fucking a rapper dies off of like drugs and shit. It's like, drugs are bad, right? Please stop
True.
drinking lean. And like, don't get me wrong, that whole lean shit is finally dying out in 2020. But like for from like 2015 to like 2019 ish, that 4 year run of niggas just talking about doing lean and shit, bro. Niggas would see one of their favorite rappers die and be like, damn, I ain't doing lean no more.
Right.
And guess what happens? They'll keep that shit up for a little bit and then go right back into it. And then niggas is still making music about it. So like, I mean, I hope that people fucking take this shit more seriously, but I don't see that happening. I'm gonna be real with you. And that's probably me being a cynic or whatever. But like I just I don't think people are doomed to repeat the same shit until they just get it. And this this ain't gonna be the last.
You're
So
right.
yeah, I mean shit, dude. Like how many
It,
times, bro? How many times have you seen someone go, we should cherish people while they're still here. We should be kind to people because we don't know what they're dealing with. And then when Chadwick posted that picture of himself, and you could see all of the weight that he lost. People were calling him a crackhead, crack panther, and it's like, bro, y'all say this shit every time somebody die, and then y'all go back and just make the same old dumbass mistakes. Like, no, I don't buy this shit, bro. Niggas is gonna talk about it. They're gonna be sad once the anniversary of his death comes up. People are gonna like remember him as they should. They should remember him every day. But like, that's just what it is.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna change the majority of people. I think if it even changes like more than a handful, I think he'd be happy to know that he left behind a decent legacy and something that
He left behind
his
more than a
family and
decent
his
legacy.
I worded that poorly, my bad, but yeah, no, like he left something behind for the next generation to look up to, and something that his family is very proud of. And I know before he went, he must have been proud of what he had accomplished as well. Uh, I think it'll definitely change some people. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna change the majority of people, but the people that just won't change are just gonna have to, I guess, learn it the hard way, unfortunately. But it's a good starting point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a jump off point. And speaking of his legacy, I
Facts.
mean, regardless of what I think about the Black Panther movie, I've never denied that it was a beautifully shot movie, and I was very thankful for the impact that it had on not only the African and Black culture of like people my age, but also children growing up, seeing that yeah, there are Black superheroes out there, and you don't have to like fucking look because Black children see just a sea of white s- faces, and then they're basically looking for their representation, and this was a pretty damn good start for Black
Right.
children to have representation, especially when they made did they make 1 billion? I think they made 1 billion,
Yeah, they
and they
It was
got
made
his
they made
top. It was
I think
top grossing before Endgame came out.
and on top of that they won Grammys. Like they got them their first Oscars. Is it Oscars or Grammys? I don't fucking know, but they got their first
Mm.
Oscars. Or
they won something.
yeah, facts. Like they got Marvel's first Oscars. That's what it is. They got their first Oscars from Black Panther, and it really shows Black people and Black children that they could really go out here and do this. They can really be successful in a world that's seemingly against them. Like against all odds, we can still, go out here and do this shit. So it's definitely a nice jump off point for the next generation. And like even though Chadwick is no longer with us, he's still with us. So don't feel too bad about that shit.
Right.
Um, so moving off of that, we can talk about OnlyFans again, cause Bella Thorne, the one of the stars from fucking Shake It Up, if you know what that is, a Disney Channel
That
show with
show,
Zendaya.
definitely.
Yeah,
Pick it up.
she
She shook it up.
she shook it up. Yo, that's a
She shook up the
bar.
game.
Like
That's
she
funny as hell.
shook that shit up. Yo, she fucked up OnlyFans for everybody. Like, I feel bad for sex workers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really feel as
Facts.
though and I guess before we actually get into it, I want to mash this topic and the whole celebrities taking over other mediums topic into one. So like I feel as though celebrities shouldn't make OnlyFans. They shouldn't do that. It was no reason why Bella Thorne of all people should have made $1 million in 24 hours off of OnlyFans. That's come on. You don't need to use OnlyFans, especially when you're not doing nudity, and then you're out here scamming men, saying you're selling nude pictures for $200. Like, come on, bro. You done fucked up the whole game. People is out here who use OnlyFans. They went from getting a weekly paychecks to monthly, and now there's a limit on certain things. And on this is already on top of OnlyFans apparently fighting tax evasion. So like
Yeah.
they might be out of here, bro. So like if anything, I think that was the final nail in the coffin for OnlyFans, to be honest. So yeah,
Honestly, I hope so. I really do hope it is the last nail in the fucking coffin. I want to see OnlyFans gone and other websites that promote the same kind of fucking behavior. I feel like it fucking encourages toxic masculinity, sexism, and just any other fucking word you could think of to describe it. I feel like it paints a majority of females as quote unquote sluts or hoes and shit like that. Um, but I'm more disappointed in the males that are actually fucking paying for the content. Like I understand like some females just need to get a secure bag. I get that, but I feel like as men we definitely need to do better. There's no reason you should be paying like $20 to see like three pictures. That shit doesn't make sense to me. But
bro.
yeah, I mean, I hope people start to do better. Cause like, listen, the OnlyFans shit, it's temporary. It's not a fucking career for these females. It can't be. This shit isn't gonna last forever. It lasts a few years at most. And I know a lot of them, like a lot of females that are making the OnlyFans shit. They're not saving the money. They're not putting it aside for college. They're fucking splurging. They're like, they're buying fucking big ass apartments, cars, jewelry. They're not thinking long term, and I think it's only gonna hurt them more later on.
Listen, we can jump on that topic. But about that whole her DMing niggas or like men asking her if she's selling nudes, bro. I
She got
feel
him
as
good.
though
That shit was hilarious.
if you pay for a subscription from a celebrity at that, if you pay for a subscription, realize that there are no nudes, and then DM said person who tweeted out, "I am not doing nudity," and then asks, "Bro, are these nudes?" And she say, "Yeah." For $200, you deserve to get scammed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I do not feel sorry for them. I don't feel
Mhm.
how because we talked about this yesterday in the chat. So I'm gonna rehash some bars. How horny do you gotta be to fucking look at a price tag that says $200 for three pictures, bro? Fuck the whole paying for nude shit. Let's break this down mathematically. You're not even. Come on, bro.
That's $67, bro. That's $67 a
I
picture.
mean, there was
$57
like
a picture,
there were
$67
six.
a
It was,
picture,
it was
bro.
about 60 images in there though.
but
I gotta
the
hold the I gotta
200,
hold the
Hold
the
negative.
on, hold on, hold
200,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So you're telling me one picture of Bella Thorne naked is worth more than a AAA game? No,
Mm,
no.
no, no. But yeah,
bro.
it was like I
Hold,
gotta
hold
hold
up,
the
Hawk.
measurement. It was like
Imagine,
65 images and then like four. That's it. 10 videos. So 75 pieces of content,
yo. So imagine this. You have $60,
right?
Mm-hmm.
no tax on games, by the way. You have $60. You look at Call of Duty Cold War that's coming out in November, and you look at one nude picture potentially of Bella Thorne, and you go, "Huh? I wonder
Seems
which
not
one I
fair.
should get." Like, it's
Right.
no way you're fucking doing that. How, like, I feel as though that should have been a sobering wake up moment right
Mm-hmm.
there. A sobering wake up moment. You know how niggas be having post nut clarity? This should have been the first example of pre nut clarity. He should have looked at that shit as he hit okay and been like, "Wait a second, whoa." I'm fucking wildin', bruh. Like, it's no way you look at that mediocre woman and just be like, okay, sure, why not? How do you feel? Because you obviously halfway there. You 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 already in the act because that is not no some that is not a non horny action right there. You are already horny, being like, I'm about to spend 200 on these nudes, bro, and it's gonna be worth. Fam, seek help. everyone, because it wasn't just one person. Everyone who has done that and they're out here trying to request fucking refunds. I hope OnlyFans don't. I hope you just out two hundred
I hope
dollars.
so too.
I just
I hope
hope
so.
because you ain't gonna learn your lesson. It's actual women out here that's putting in the time and the work,
Work.
taking
Absolutely.
these pictures, actual new pictures, for way less. For way less. Women that look way better than Bella Thorne, and you just giving her the time of day. Are you kidding me? Did her nudes already leak?
Yeah, all she
Didn't
does
they
is
leak
all
like
the leaked ones.
sometime last year? Like,
Yeah,
what's
all she do
going
is
on,
compile all the leaked
America?
ones together under one package, $200.
$200 for
Of
some
stuff you
clothes
already seen.
pictures. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
It was some
I,
slips.
I hope you hate yourself. I hope you hate that part
um,
of yourself. Fuck,
um, I definitely hope they don't get the refund because, like,
fuck that
listen,
shit.
some people might say, oh, but they're like rich as shit. Like $200 to them is like five to you, or 500 or $5 to you, right? I still don't think it's the same. They're like, I feel like they're not respecting the money or themselves,
Fuck money,
you
but
gotta,
exist. They not respecting themselves.
like it's just like $67 a picture.
Picture. And it's not like some, oh, it's Rihanna. Oh, it's fucking Beyonce. It's like, hell no, nigga, it's just some average
It's a
white
white
bitch you
bitch.
at
He,
Starbucks. Like, come on, dude. You balling out of control for that fucking barista at
um,
Starbucks, my nigga. Like, come on now. Come on, bro. Do better. Love yourself. Like Cat Williams said, bro. Like you be in a club talking to some random girl and she seemed crazy, but she horny, so you ignore that shit. Right before you take her home, go in the bathroom, beat your shit, and see if you talk to her the same way. Get your shit first. And if you still want to spend that 200 after you do that, by all means, nigga, do it. You can't blame anyone but yourself for that. I hope they don't get their refunds.
Me
Mm-mm.
neither. I hope they don't get them back. I hope it finally clicks them like, hey, what the fuck am I doing? I should spend this money on gas or something instead, so that I can like
Fucking
use
gas.
that as it. Like goddamn. Like if you're that horny, buy a fucking subscription off like one of the porn sites. I don't know what to tell you. Just
Hey,
go somewhere
listen,
else.
I stand with the sex workers, though. I do. I
Facts.
stand with the sex workers. I feel very, very terrible that this fucking celebrity has came in and just essentially destroyed what was already fucking burning and crashing and burning anyway. So like I stand with you guys. Wherever you go, I will still support. I will not buy, but I will support. Okay. Now,
With that
speaking of
too.
celebrities taking over various mediums, I don't think they should do that. I don't think celebrities should make OnlyFans. I feel kind of iffy about celebrities like fucking making podcast channels, taking away revenue and streams from other people who's actually passionate about it. And I'm not saying that celebrities can't be passionate about other things in their career, but what I'm saying is that a lot of these dudes don't need not I won't say the extra money, but like, come on, bro. Like that whole OnlyFans thing, she ain't need to do that. She had no reason to do that.
I'm not
Even
gonna
if
lie to you.
even if she not rich, I'm pretty sure she well off. Like you didn't need to ruin someone else's chance to make a bag, to secure the bag, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was in her shoes, I would have done the same thing. A fucking $1 million for some pictures that already got leaked. I would have done it. I
Why
I
would you
genuinely like it
selfish?
because that's a
That's
million
why
dollars.
people is out here talking about eat the rich now because they don't give a fuck about everyone else. They just care about themselves, bro. Like
Oh,
you,
that's
nigga,
hilarious.
that's like you having two boxes of pizza and you taking another box of pizza home. Like, why are you doing that? You don't even need the two boxes and you get a third. Fuck off. Like, you don't
Well,
need
maybe I'll
that,
get hungry
nigga.
later.
Huh?
Maybe I'll get hungry later.
You got two boxes.
But I
You
want this
are
one.
already well established. You can eat eat. You don't have to worry about eating. Like, why take the last slice of pizza and have someone who's hungry and who actually needed to starve? Fuck that nigga. He should have been born in a better family or something. I don't like. Come on now, like, bro, don't be out here doing that shit, show. Like,
Listen, I think the whole business of like I don't know what to call it. I guess like sex work or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's gonna die off because like just because
of
OnlyFans
course it's not
stops,
gonna
they'll
die
probably move to
off.
like Patreon or something. Like the people that are doing OnlyFans, they'll go to a different site. I think OnlyFans really might get that shit shut down though. Like you were talking about with the tax evasion and shit. That'd be pretty fucking funny to see that go to court or something.
Like, bro, nah. But I was talking about celebrities doing it seems like celebrities are just invading our spaces. I'm gonna be honest with you. It seems like you got
I don't think they are.
you don't think so? I don't know. I've
I feel like
only
they're just doing shit to pass time.
That's cool, but like at the same time, it's like they make it so much harder for people who could potentially see, like, let's say podcast, for example. You could have a celebrity make a podcast and go on Spotify and secure a deal. And I'm not saying if that celebrity wasn't there, then that person would have like probably had the deal. But what I'm saying is like, listen, if that celebrity makes that podcast, then it's taking away streams from everyone else. Everyone's gonna go there. They don't need to do that. It's
I
taking
mean,
away
you're right, but
money from
um,
people who actually need the money. That's what it's about. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because it's like with these celebrities coming into these mediums where people like me and you, well, not you, you're fucking rich. Like me and Hawk are fucking. We can make money. We can make serious money off of this. We can actually support ourselves off of these crafts, and to see someone who's already well established come in and just take more from it, I just see that as selfish. And again, it may seem kind of confusing because I'm not saying they can't do it, but what I'm saying is I'm just side eyeing it because it's like you don't need this. You don't need to do this. It's way
Exactly.
better people out here who has better personalities, who's talking about better things, who could actually do something good with this, and you're just coming in and taking the spotlight for what? Because you're bored? That's wrong. Don't do that. That's why I that's why I don't fuck with the whole Bella Thorne situation, because it's like she didn't need to fucking do that. It's people out there that have supported their families from OnlyFans. Regardless of how you think about it, it's people out there who has helped themselves and their families get out of tough situations via OnlyFans, and now that shit is fucked up because some celebrity came through, and she's not the only one. It's other celebrities that's fucking done it and just ruin it. So I'm just saying, man, like if you're a celebrity out here, be considerate of others because people need money unlike you. So yeah, that's honestly that on that. So
I don't think that's fair to like tell celebrities what they can and can't do. Let me give you an example, right? Say
okay,
like you want to put the podcast on hold, right? And you want to just stop for a few years and
I
really
do.
like focus on your craft and you
Really
know,
do.
finish
I hate
your
this
book
podcast.
and and then your book sells very well. You sell another and another, and you get very successful and you're very famous and you have a bunch of money, right? But
Hmm.
then you're like, hey, you remember the spark that you had for the podcast and you want to restart it, and then you restart it. But then like you watch this video and you think to yourself, hey, just because I'm an author and I already have like a decent supporting behind me, I shouldn't do this because it'd be taking away like from someone else that could be watch or taking away someone else's viewers. I don't think that's right. I don't think just because like celebrities, even though like they do different things, they work for the success and the followers they have, right? So I feel like it's not fair for you to tell them what they can and can't do with those followers and like and how to carry themselves, I guess. Because if LeBron were to start a podcast or some shit, I'm sure everyone would go check that shit out. Because it's LeBron and people are curious what he has to say, and it's just the same thing with other celebrities. People want to know their thoughts and
Show or some shit.
ideas on topics.
But like, I mean, listen, I feel that, dude, and like, honestly, it's certain like, so if a celebrity is like talking about like, the first thing that comes to mind is like therapy or whatever. If a celebrity is like
Mhm.
talking about therapy and like they're talking about their mental illness, like what people should do as far as like finding a therapist and they're like legitimately helping others, I'm not talking about
Mhm.
that. I'm not talking, if you are legitimately helping people, then fine, by all means, like, yeah, do that shit. But if you just out here shooting the shit, taking away fucking taking away opportunities for other people because you bored, you just was like, oh, fucking Adam Sandler and fucking John Travolta decided to get together one day and make a fucking podcast. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like, you have nothing to offer to the medium. But if like Michelle Obama was talking about, oh, fucking what it's like being black in America and she's uplifting black girls and black women, I'm not gonna say anything to her about that because we need that. We need that. We need a person with that type of positioning in our society to tell other people that yes, it's okay to be you. But if you just talking, shut the fuck up. You rich. What you doing? You ain't doing nothing. You just wasting your time. So yeah, I guess I should have been more clear. If you're out here helping society, if you're out here trying to push for a change, then yes, go ahead do that. Especially if you're a celebrity. But if you're a celebrity and you just doing something because you bored, fuck out of here. I don't support that. Don't do that.
That's that's fair enough, I guess.
But listen, I want to talk about double standards in society.
Okay.
What are some double standards that you see on a day-to-day
Oh,
basis, whether it's
a very
personal
big
or in Twitter or whatever?
a very big one is like how do I like sexual activity with like men and female, right? Because like if a dude has like 10, 12 bodies, right?
Uh-huh.
Another dude isn't gonna call him a fucking thought or a hoe or anything. Honest to God, they'll probably like dap him up and be like, good shit. But if a female does that shit, it's like, oh, what the fuck? She's gross. She's doing with the whole team. Blah blah blah. This that and the third. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the I
you don't
think that's the
even
biggest double standard I noticed.
you don't even have to that's what's sad though. You don't even have to like you said, a dude could have 10, 12. A woman could have fucking five and it's still
Five, yeah.
you are a hoe, you a slut, you a thought.
Hmm.
It's like,
Or
bro,
or a
From the
man could
streets,
have like
like.
none. A
Hmm.
man could have none, and oh, he's weird or whatever. Like, or if
it's
a girl does it, she's
hyper
pure.
the hyper sex I'm sorry, I'm tired. Listen, the hyper the sexualization of men and women is a topic that's not talked about enough, in my opinion. Men are over sexualized, just like women, but I think it's in a different way. Men are
Okay.
expected to have sex,
Mhm.
where women are exploited sexually.
I agree.
Those two things correlate because you need one, it takes two to tango, basically.
Mhm.
So if men are expected to have sex and society is homophobic, naturally you're going to point towards women. Meaning what? Women have to now be lustful, but at the same time they have to be pure. See how much sense that makes? It doesn't make any
Right.
sense. Women have to give out or put out is a better term. Women have to put out, but at the same time they gotta be virgins. They can't have sex, but they gotta have sex because men gotta have sex to prove how much of a man they are. That's a double standard in society, and it fucks over so many people. So many people are just out here thinking that either A, people are having women who have sex are hoes like Megan Thee Stallion. People could be like Megan Thee Stallion is a hoe because she is doing what men are doing. That's a double standard that blows my mind every day, every goddamn day. I don't get it. I mean, I get it. I understand why it's happening, but I don't get it. Like, what's wrong with women having power? That's another double standard. Women cannot have power.
I
The
don't think
second,
it's more about
no,
the
no,
thing
hold
with
up, hold up.
power.
Let me real quick because I'm
Oh,
about to
cool.
flip it on you. So women can't have power, right?
Right.
The second women started to empower themselves via their bodies, OnlyFans started to blow up and niggas started having problems with women having OnlyFans. Why? Because they have power. They have power. They finally have the freedom within themselves to make money off of the over sexualization that men have put upon them.
Right.
And men don't like that. That's why I like talking about OnlyFans. That's why I support sex workers because women should feel as though they have control of their own body. It's men in Congress talking about women, what women can do with abortions. Not a manly topic. That
Facts.
should be strictly women. That should be a strictly female topic, but it's not because men still desire power over women. And the double standard comes from the fact that once women get the same power that men have, now men feel threatened. But at the same time, men don't want gold diggers. So if women don't have power, how are they expected to have things for themselves? Hence, they would need you. Hence, you would need to have things in order to support not only yourself but them, which would make you think they're a gold digger. So what is that? A double standard. So
I think I think it's just more the fact that females are supposed to be like more respectable, and men have just always been, I guess, not like held to the same standards. You know what I mean? Since like um females have always just been seen as the ones who take care of the kids and the family and all that stuff, and they've just always been held to a higher pedestal than men. While men are out doing, I guess you could call it the quote unquote fucking dirty work. But I really do think the double standard needs to change pretty fucking quickly. Um, and with the topic of OnlyFans, I don't think like I mean a majority of men, you're right, are probably uncomfortable with them having power, but I think a smaller group are just unhappy that um such an intimate part, I guess, the relationship you would call it. Like if my girlfriend were to have OnlyFans, I'd be upset because I don't want other people looking at my girlfriend the same way that I do, if that makes sense. Um,
that's
I don't want
possessiveness,
I
but
don't
I
want
get
him
it.
to be
But if you don't
I
own
don't
her
want him
though,
to be
that's not your
hypersexualized.
property.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
not your pro.
exactly.
All right,
See,
listen.
never, I never said that. I just don't want
No, no,
my
I get that.
hypersexualized.
I get that. I'm on both sides of the fence with that. I get the fact that like you shouldn't be chastised for not wanting other people to see your girlfriend
Right.
nude. But at the same time, it's like if that's her profession, then if you want to be with her, that's something you gotta respect, bro.
Mhm.
So like honestly, you have the right to leave if you don't want that, and she has the right to do that. To do sex work, or
Right.
whatever, cam work, or whatever. See me, if my girl were to do that, I'd be fine with it. I ain't gonna hold you. That's simply because, in my opinion, s- a body is just a body, dude. Like I've never really seen. I like listen. Obviously, I get aroused if I look at a pretty and attractive woman and she's nude or whatever. But aside from my horniness, like just sex aside, just looking at a body, that's a body. You got a body. That's why I don't care. Like, bro, you ever seen a girl naked? That's a question.
Oh yeah.
You've seen every girl naked then.
Oh, you said every girl.
No, no, no. I'm saying, have you ever seen any girl naked?
Yeah.
You've seen every girl naked then. That's why it's like, bro, you've literally like niggas really think it's a different experience. I mean, a different thing every time a girl gets undressed. She still got the same tits, ass, and vagina. That's it. That's why I'm like, bro, I don't care if my girl do sex work, if she out here selling her pictures or whatever, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's not like my girl got a fucking triangle box and your girl got a square box. I don't know. I might be kind of curious about the square box. But like it's all the same thing. That's why it's like I understand why people are like, I don't want my girl to be nude out here selling her pictures. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, if she's making bank off of this shit and she love and supports you and you got one of those women that fucking give you gifts and shit, I'm not saying stay for the gifts, but I'm saying, bro, nigga, look at the positives. She's
Right.
happy. She feel free. Don't fucking take that away from her. For what? Come on now. Don't do that. So yeah, I mean, bro, it's more double standards out there. Like
My
I feel
preferences.
women can be emotional and niggas can't.
I mean,
See,
women can choose not to deal with a short man, but if a man is wanting to deal with a overweight woman, he's seen as shallow.
I mean, to be fair, listen, thankfully, I am talking to a very beautiful lady who accepts me for me. So I don't have to worry about that. But y'all niggas out there, y'all stay safe. Because it's rough out here. Niggas is getting pushed aside for things they can't control, such as height. And me, as a short man, I used to, I used to let that shit get to me, and then I realized, bro, I'm that nigga. I'm a bad bitch, nigga. Like you can't stop me, nigga. Like I'm not gonna let some bitch look at me and be like, "Oh, you short, so I'm not gonna talk to you." Oh, that's gonna ruin my day, nigga. I've been had hoes. I write books, nigga. Like you can't stop me. Like you just one that I didn't get. And as far as that whole overweight shit, that is something you can control. Now listen, I prefer thicker women. I do. However, I feel as though as long as you're not disrespecting that person, I feel like it's okay for you to have a preference. So, I mean, if a dude don't want to date fat girls, don't fucking attack him as long as he's not attacking them. Like, everyone's not supposed to be attracted to everyone.
That's true.
But yeah, back on that though. Fucking as far as like attractions go, it's like I mean, the only time I side eye a woman talking about height is when she's like 5 foot even and like she won't talk to a dude that's 5'7" because she prefers a dude that's 6 foot or
That's
somewhere
annoying
around
and
that line.
uncomfortable.
Like,
That's kind
dude,
of weird to me.
I'm taller than you regardless. It doesn't matter. But like honestly, you don't want that type of person in your life.
Why not? Educate us.
Why wouldn't you want so, bro? If you don't, why would you want someone who like looks at you and is like, oh, he's 6 foot, so I'm automatically gonna go talk to him? That nigga could be a piece of shit. Like women, men and women, but like let's just stick on women for right now. You know what? Fuck
Low
that.
self
People
esteem.
is out here getting done dirty and ignoring the red flags because of shallow dating requirements. And they're not putting in the time. Niggas go, oh, she got a fat ass, so I don't care if she fucking takes
She
too long to
bad.
respond. I don't care if she's a dry texter. I don't care if she got nothing going for her. Oh, that nigga's 6 foot. I don't care if he fucking leaves me every 2 weeks or whatever. As long as he's 6 foot, I don't give a shit. And obviously, these are fucking bad examples, but like, you get what I'm saying? Y'all know what y'all be doing out here. Y'all see these red flags and still ignore them because of shallow requirements. You think because that person is tall, that's okay. You think because that person got a fat ass, that's okay to put up with that. No, no, I'm not saying date people who's short. I'm just saying do better and pick better.
Mm,
It's other tall people out there. You can still have your gargantuan babies if you want to.
gargantuan.
Yeah, I don't want to be tall, nigga. Like I'm perfectly fine being 5'6". I mean,
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 8.5, 5'9" on a good day.
Oh, it's on the shortest one here. That makes sense.
like honestly, I blame my parents
Me too.
every day. I blame my parents every day. Bro, my mom is a munchkin. She's 4'11" and my dad is like 5'8". I blame them every day. In fact, once I'm done recording, I'm gonna just text my parents with no context and be like, "It's your fault," and have them figure out what I'm talking about. Because I mean, shit, I'm tired because they lie to you. Your parents lie to you and tell you, "Drink your milk. You're gonna be big and strong." No, I am not big and strong. I am small
And wide.
and wide.
Facts.
My belly is huge. I look like I'll give birth any day now. Oh man. Speaking of like fuck that, like I had a couple other topics, but like I kind of want to stay on like dating requirements. What is the pettiest reason you will not date somebody?
Me personally,
Yes,
um,
the pettiest.
if she ain't got no job, that's not good.
I don't think
I'm
that's
gonna have to.
petty though. I feel
I
as
don't
though
think it's
that's very
petty.
no, that's very valid.
I mean,
All right, how about this? Let me go first.
you go first. I'll come with something pettier than that.
I feel as though if a girl got ugly toes, I can't date her. If a girl feet ugly, then I can't. No, nope, no sir. I feel as though like you could be bad from head to ankle, and as soon as I look at those toes and they ugly, I feel like God fucked up. I feel like that's not okay. That's not okay. You shouldn't be walking around here with ugly toes. And like you may be like, but Gigi, don't you got a foot fetish? And I'll be like, yo, listen, my parents are listening to this. Relax. But like, come on now, like that's wrong to me. That's wrong. I can't date a girl with ugly feet. Cause then when we cuddle, her ugly ass toes gonna touch my feet, my pretty feet, and
Mm,
I can't have that. That is gross. That is the
Cross
equivalent of a
contamination.
wet sock.
Oh
but
god. I think the pettiest thing that would like make me not date a person is if they dated one of my bros before, or if they just even slept with them before, because that shit gonna get brought up in an argument, and I don't want to be around that shit when it happens.
Wait, what you say?
So like I wouldn't date a female if she's like slept or dated one of my bros before.
Oh, I don't like that's crazy because me and her was just having a talk about this. I I wouldn't have sex with one of my bro's exes. I
I
wouldn't.
would.
It's cold. That's cold, bro. That's
No,
cold.
like okay, as long as like if it was just like a fling, if they dated for like a month or two and it wasn't serious, of course. But like if it's like an ex-wife or like the love of his life, of course not. Of course not. I'm gonna respect that. But if it's like if it was just some fucking fling, of course I'm gonna like fight.
Nah, bro. Because even then, I feel kind of weird about it. Well, like, Hawk, what's your you figure something out?
um, hair. If you're not taking good care of your
Hell,
hair, if you got a trashy weave, I can't do it. I can't do it. You got to invest well. Like if I see that you don't invest well in your hygiene or the way you dress or the way
there's
you
no
take
way.
care of your hair or anything like that, nah. That's
Bro,
that's a huge red flag for me.
This
this
man
nigga
so
here,
trashy.
yo, oh man, Yo, imagine getting that's a first. Like I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I've never heard a nigga be like, bro, I was gonna date that girl right there, but her weave was trash, nigga. So I just said nah. Like, yo, oh my god, bro, that's crazy. That's why I was like, I prefer women that's natural haired women. I fuck with that. Like
Facts.
that's cool. Like the little puff balls and shit. Show like I wanna poop poop. I wouldn't mind touching
Shout out
that.
to all my curly hair girls out there.
Yes. Curly Queens, we love you.
Yes, sir.
Out to the dark skinned queens out there. Big Gigi, I'm a stan. Um, I'm jumping all over the place. Let's talk about religion. How do
All
you guys
right.
feel about it?
It's a cult. Always has, always will be.
Don't you?
Okay.
Aren't you?
Not
Don't
in the
you?
slightest. I'm
You?
not religious at all.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think religion is a scam for fucking rich white men to collect a fuckload of money off people and then not get taxed for it.
I think.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, listen to this. America's a lie, so jot that down. Second of all, Christianity. You. I'm gonna pick my words very carefully. I will not worship a white man's god.
Thank you.
I just won't.
Listen, bro,
Now,
I don't. My bad for cutting you off, but you're definitely right. This shit's a lie. There's no way you could say all men are created equally and fucking a whole like God and fucking Jesus next to like right next to your court, and then fucking go around and still have slaves. That shit doesn't work. Fuck the founding fathers. Fuck Christianity. Fuck religion as a whole.
You're right to an extent.
all right,
I
hold
think
on.
the
Let me.
problem with religion is human interpretation because in the
Man, I ain't
Bible
going to
case
work
you
today. Fuck
can
that shit.
in the Bible case you can make a point for anything if you read it a certain way. So I think that's where religion gets dicey. Is all these different perspectives coming together and thinking what they believe to be right. I think I'm the only guess pseudo religious guy here. My
No, dude, I
only
believe in the
issue
stars.
okay, you believe in stars. I mean, I believe in Christianity. I just don't believe in forcing it down people's throats. I just think that's an invasion of privacy, and you're just doing way more than what the religion even calls for you to do. And that's where I kind of draw the line at. So like, I'm not gonna be preaching the word to y'all because like I know that's not what y'all really stand for, and it's just not my place. Like I think religion is a very personal thing that you have to find on your own, and I think really people try to turn it into propaganda and use it for ulterior motives. In tune that turns people off from it because they see all these nasty people using it for the wrong reasons. So
I think I think people pick and choose the part of religion they want to follow. Like I
yeah,
have a decent bit of
that's
like religious friends, and
That's a
like
big fact.
they're Catholic and shit like that, and they're literally like picking and choose what part of the Bible they follow. Like they'll like fuck a different female like every weekend and still go to church that same like weekend. Like how does that work? I feel like they use it to, I guess, quote unquote justify some of their actions, or they think they could just keep doing bullshit and then saying, "Oh, I fucked up, I'm gonna change," and I'm sorry, and then it just gets better.
I have a question.
okay.
Afterward.
So, when it comes to God, right? Isn't it said that we were made in His image, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, doesn't that mean one of two things? One, either He was a man and He's long gone, or two, we're all gods since we were made in His image.
Your second point, I think we're all gods in our own sense. We all have dynamic powers that are unique to us. I just think a lot of people waste their lives trying to be something they're not and not accept what they have. And by the time you do realize the power you do have, it's too late. Um, because like you do things I can't do. Like I can't write a novel like you can, but on the flip side, you can't take a picture like I could. So um, I think we all have our intrinsic powers and abilities that can be used for either good or evil. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to choice. So you can decide what you want to do with your time here. So that's my stance on it.
Yeah, so you guys got some bars off about religion, and I know I kind of came off as abrasive, but like me personally, my grandmama was she was religious, like, and I went to church with her a couple times, or maybe more, but I was a child obviously before she
Right.
passed. And like, I mean, I really didn't pay attention to it because that wasn't nothing I really had interest in. And both of my parents are like free spirits in that aspect. So really they
Yeah.
let me just kind of they basically said, "Fuck it, dude, go deep and just see what you find your own answer," pretty much.
Which
And
I agree with them on that.
yeah,
There's some
and
things you're not gonna understand as a kid. Like you
yeah,
got to become an adult and live life, and then things will kind of make more sense. So
but
salute to them for letting you find your way.
here's the thing about that. And I don't know why I just remembered this, like not just now, but like recently. But like I think I was talking to my dad or my mom. One of them told me that like I told them as a kid that we came from the stars when they asked me where do like we come from or whatever. And I was like, bro, now thinking about this shit, I fucks with that. Like Lil Gigi was on to some shit, even though he had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. Because I seen this study done in 2017 that like we have stardust inside of us.
Right.
Like we have space matter inside of us. Like our makeup is made up of space. And if we're all made from the same organic matter, then who's to say the stars or the planet or the universe itself isn't just God? Or maybe there isn't the title God isn't the proper title, and maybe it's just one. Or as my mom likes to say, source or whatever, because source comes from, whatever. I gotta talk to her again about that. I don't want to butcher that, and then, you know, yeah. But like,
Mhm.
that's what I think. I think honestly, dude, like we all come from the same shit. We all come from space. We all come from the stars, nigga. Like, and not just stars, but like when I say stars, I do mean like planets and other shit. Like, I think we all come from the same shit. We all come from space, or and wherever space came from, that's where we came from. I don't think it's some guy with some magnificent beard just floating on a cloud. Just, I just don't buy that. Like fucking Dragon said, I think that's propaganda. It's propaganda to control people. Because think about it like this. And here's why like here's my feelings on Christianity, by the way. Christianity is a form of white supremacy because that is a white man's god. And I don't mean that in like I'm saying it with it sounds like I'm saying it with hate, but I'm just saying it as it is. It's a fact. Christianity is a white man's god. Black people lost their religion. Africans, because that's what I am. That whole American shit, fuck that. African, our culture, we had to basically build a culture from scraps, and that's what black is. That's the scraps. Whatever we invented here, that's it. But Christianity is a white man's god, and that's what black people hung on to because that's what they were forced to fucking do. They were forced to worship God, and then it basically passed down from generation to generation to generation, and then it became commonplace. So what you're doing is you're essentially erasing your own heritage by following another's. And if you go around and search and that's your answer still Christianity, then that's fine. But I feel as though people
Mhm.
follow Christianity because their parents followed it, because their grandparents followed it, because
Mhm.
one family line was forced, and then that's basically what it was after that. And I get that some people cling on to it for hope. People form their own identities with Christianity, and that's perfectly fine. I don't have no problem with like Hawk being a Christian. My aunt and cousin are Christians, and I love them both very dearly, and they accept me for who I am. Those are the Christians I don't have problems with, because on a peer-to-peer level, they're following what they think Christianity is ultimately supposed to be about. They're not looking at it how I'm looking at it, because I'm looking at it from the outside. From the outside, that's a white man's God, and it's white supremacy. Because the more that you spread Christianity around, the more that the white man's God is out there. That's how I feel. So on a bigger plane, fuck Christianity. But on a peer to peer level, I respect Hawk's beliefs. I respect my aunt and cousin's beliefs. But me personally, I can't get down with that. I feel like any religion where you have to bow down and pray, that's a bad religion.
I mean, that's the majority of them, though.
Exactly. So that's a bad religion. Any other thoughts on that?
No, I don't got any other thoughts on
So
the
Yeah, I
cult that
think
we call
well,
religion.
wait, so like Dragon, you're Middle Eastern, right?
Yes, sir.
What made you turn away from it?
It's
Like,
just
is it
ridiculous.
like the same
It,
reasoning that you have for Christianity, or is it something else?
it's not like the same for Christianity. It's like a little different. Since um pretty much like both my parents, right? They were born in Iraq, and they're Muslim.
Right.
They never forced the religion down on me or my sister, because they want to be and my sister come to our own conclusions and just see what we believe in. So like as I grew and grew and grew, right, you
Mm-hmm.
learn more and more and more that Islam is like, and just uh being Muslim in general teaches you that practically if it feels good and you're getting pleasure out of it, it's a sin. Like that's the majority of it, and it's extremely like misogynistic. Like that's why like females aren't allowed to do like a majority of stuff. Like just to like recently, they just barely were able to start driving in a lot of Middle Eastern countries. Homosexuality is considered a very big sin. Um, just eating like eating pork, all that drinking, even sex is like not if you're married. Just sex if you're like trying to do anything besides have a kid is like forbidden. It's just it teaches you that anything that is like pleasurable and that makes you happy is a sin, which I just don't think should be even remotely considered right.
I feel that that's very respectable.
The only like positive that I could take away from that religion is you should just donate to people who are less fortunate and be thankful for what you have. That's literally all I took away. Everything else is just it's fucking brainwashing.
All right. So, you know what? I was gonna save it for another EP, but we can talk about it. And Dragon, I think having an outside perspective would actually help. Uh, how do you feel about being black in America?
extreme highs and extreme lows. When they love you, you at your peak. You know, people love to herald the black culture when it seems fit to them, but when we need them the most, when we are at our lowest, they're nowhere to be found. Um, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to live in the suburbs most of my life, but I know even out here, there's a stigma behind being black, what black is, what black isn't, both within the community and outside the community. So it kind of puts me and other, black people in the middle class in like a weird um ostracizing effect. Like we don't know where we should go. We do this with too black, we do this with too white, and it's very limiting when it comes to what we can and can't do, at least in our minds. Um, I, and like I feel like we're used as pawns in America. We use as even as in this political election, like people just using us as items and not actual people. Even with all these police shootings, they're using us as items to drive traffic, to drive discussion, but not to actually help us in our day to day lives. So, in a nutshell, I just feel like black people in America are just chosen to be items and not actual people, and it's been like that for the last couple 100 years, really. Even with slavery, we were seen as property, not people. And even then, we're three fifths of property and not even a full package. So
I mean,
What do you think?
in my opinion, I mean, shit. Being black in America, it's you gotta deal with a lot of shit. Like, there's a lot of microaggressions that people don't necessarily understand if they're not black. And being probably one of I think I'm legitimately the only black person in my department on my shift. So like maybe it's like one or two. But like yeah, it's one black dot and a sea of white dots. So I'm
same in
easily
my job.
distinguishable. So it's like being in a different culture, for example, you see you already you feel like you can't be yourself if you're not around your own kind. So you already feel as though you have to be someone, not someone completely different, but you gotta dial it back. Like I could say nigga right now because I'm with my friends, I'm with my peers, I'm with other black people. But like I feel like being in a predominantly white environment, you have to talk a certain way. You gotta you honestly sometimes I feel like you just gotta let some shit slide, even if it's like quote unquote not intentional. You gotta be like, oh, that was kind of racist, but maybe I shouldn't say anything about this because I don't want anything to possibly happen. And
Mhm.
that's just inside of work. Like outside in reality, real life, just like your day to day, you're seen as a threat because of perception. When people like last episode I said that where could black people go? Black people are public enemy number one no matter where we go. Why? Why is that? Because it's perception. It's because the world has been fooled into thinking we're the enemy when we're not. We're not welcome here. There's already beef between blacks and Africans. And then you got other places in the world where people are getting attacked for being black. You got people here being killed for being black. And then you, it's traumatizing and it's become normal to see black people on the ground just in their own puddle of blood just dying, shot by cops for doing nothing most of the time. And then on top of that, they come around and try to justify the murder. Like the most recent one where the guy got shot 7 times. They tried to say he had a knife.
He's still breathing.
They tried to say he had a knife in his car. In his car. The fucking object that they didn't even let him get to. In his car while he was outside the vehicle. And you see these comments from everyday white people trying to justify why he got shot. And then you see a 17-year-old drive cross state with an automatic weapon to a peaceful protest and kill two, three people. And then those same police officers who have killed a black person for jogging, a black person for sleeping, a black person who was autistic, a black person who played music to cats. Who played music to cats, bro? Like fucking actual music to cats. Like that's what he did. And you expect me as a black person in America to not be traumatized by this, to not be angered. That's what it's like to be black in America. To see all of these travesties happen and to somehow be expected to function like a normal human being. When you know that you are being hunted every day, like every day. There's no off day. There's no, oh, you're light skinned today, so like you get half the week. The other half, we're on to you though. And people may say, but it's not all white people. It may not happen to you. You're one of the good ones. You just go to work and you come home. People have been killed in their homes during a lockdown, during a pandemic. So what does it matter? That's what it's like to be black in America, where police brutality, there's only been maybe, this was from when I looked at it. There was 12 days where there wasn't a shooting. 12 days this entire year. And we started a lockdown back in February or March. Do you know how insane that is? And to have most of those lives be black, that is insane. That's what we have to deal with. And that's already just that's baseline, right? That's not microaggressions. And I know people are like, well, black people kill black people too. So I'm gonna beat your dick real quick. That's not black people killing black people. That's not black trans men and women getting killed by other black people and other white people. That's not black women going missing on top of that. That is just baseline. So if you're a black woman, you are more likely to get snatched up and not be looked for. You are more likely to be murdered and to be made a meme of, apparently. If you are black and trans, you are more likely than a black woman to die. So, as a black man who doesn't know what it's like to be a woman or a transsexual, or I'm sorry, transgender, that's what it's like to be black in America. Where you're already being attacked, and if you aren't lucky to be a man, then it's just worse. So, people won't understand because they're not black. And I used to try to explain to them how it was to be me. And I gotta say, that was probably one of the most stupidest shits I've ever done in my life. Because I can't explain to you what it's like to be me. Because every time I try to explain to you how my life matters, I'm considered a terrorist. So evidently, you don't want to know what it's like to be me. And sometimes I think about if I was white or if I was in a position of power over black people, would I also be like that? And honestly, sometimes I say yes. Because what it's like to be black in America is this. It sometimes make me hate being black. Because even if police brutality doesn't happen to me, I still see this every day. And you could be like, oh, get off of social media. How? Even if I do get off of social media, I'm reminded my currency has nothing but slave masters on it. I live in proximity of three known Trump supporters, people who support children being put into cages, kept in cages. Because yeah, I know the whole Obama thing. He also did that shit. But fuck that. We're talking about Trump now, where I live right around the corner from a Klansman with a Confederate flag just flying proudly. That's what it's like to be black in America. I mean, I I wanted to talk about this because I people people ask us why we riot. You expect you expect people to just get killed, see people get killed and just be like, "Oh, damn, that's crazy." And just keep on living? Let me know. Let me know what it is. Because in my personal humble opinion, and I just write books. I mean, I know she told me I should read, but I don't. Every day I see more and more examples, more and more reasons why it's why it's hard to be black. And we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be the ones to preserve. We're supposed to push on. We're supposed to pray to God that maybe one day it'll get better. Let me tell you something. Praying to a white man's God ain't going to bring you salvation. That's what it's like to be black in America.
Me personally, I'm not black, but just because I'm not black doesn't mean I'm white. I was born in Iraq, and I'm a proud Arab. But if I was to never tell anybody that I'm from Iraq, they'd automatically assume I'm white because that's the color of my skin. But it's I'm on the outside looking in, but I could definitely tell it's a fucking challenge to be black in America, and it shouldn't be. It's it's insane that you have the constant fear of just getting shot or assaulted or just fucking being discriminated against just because of something you can't control. It's insane to me. And and you can't say it's just a few bad eggs. No, it's a majority of fucking people. Cause like the shit that white people say behind closed doors is fucking insane. Like that shit is beyond racism. That shit is just flat out fucking verbal terrorism at that point. It's it's really fucking scary to see how white people act when they think they're alone, and some of them really just do think that they're like God's gift to Earth. Um, they think it's cool or fucking funny to assault and verbally assault uh African Americans. That they but those same people are the ones that are like biting the trends and like fucking stealing dances and culture and just imitating the fucking culture while at the same time being extremely racist and being the downfall of that culture. It's it's insane. You can blame some of it on systemic racism, but I honestly think people just don't want to change. I think people like having some kind of fucking or some idea of power in their head and they don't want to let it go.
I think that and I'll try not to go on a tangent like I did cuz really I was just freestyling. But I think when because everyone has experienced slavery, and by everyone I mean like all races or whatever. So it's like it's not predominantly a black thing or whatever, like exclusive to black people. But what I'm saying is, I think when you bring a race here to build this great country of ours, and then you realize the type of power that you have over someone, over a race, that you could pretty much do damn near anything you want. And from the boat to here, that's pretty much what happened. You, it's you as a race, I think you become drunk with power. And I think I want to put a little asterisk right here. I'm not talking about all white people, by the way, but if the shoe fits, it fits. When you go to school and you learn about history, you learn about how great white people are, about what they've done, about how great this nation is. And they sprinkle in a little black history. here and there, which is crazy if you truly think about how you only learn about Black history via the American public school system, um, once once a year. So you you basically see that these people were great, and then you have people with grandparents who experience segregation on both sides, and they were instilled with white supremacy, and then that white supremacy go down to their son, your father, and then your father teaches that to you. Now, fortunately enough, I think we're at a turning point, whereas though you could break that cycle, but it's kind of, I think it's hard for a white person to like not do that though. Cause I mean, think about it. If black people were taught from the very beginning how great they were, from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, I think it'd be a little different. Not in America as far as like, black people taking over America, but like I'm talking about on a spiritual level, on a personal level. I think people would appreciate themselves more if they truly understood how great they were. But when white people do it, that's the one part I don't think I blame because that's their history. Their history is destruction. It's expansion and destruction. So if you're following that history, how can I be mad at that? I mean, I am, but like I'm asking like you're following your innate nature because it feels like that's the only thing they're fucking good at. And again, I have to really reiterate, I don't mean all white people. There's some very cool white people out there. And I don't want to seem like I'm going on a fuck white people crusade. However, if the shoe fits, but I guess what I'm saying is this. Systematic racism is something that is taught from generation to generation, and as long as it's on our currency, as long as it's on our flag, as long as our presidents are a sea of white, as long as the KKK is not seen as a terrorist organization, as long as the police aren't seen as a terrorist organization that was initially a slave hunting force back in the slave days, then I don't think there's going to be much of a change. That's why I wanted to talk about what it's like to be black in America. Because regardless of people going, oh, why are you whining? That was so long ago. I mean, it's the fact that we're still seeing this now. If it was so long ago, then why hasn't there been change? I mean, truly think about it. From slavery to segregation to the civil rights movement, which ended around what, the 70s? The 70s, dude. My dad is 44, by the way. So for about 40-ish years, we have been quote unquote free. Now, do you see the picture? You're not getting rid of that in 40 years. You're just not doing it. That's what it's like to be black in America. This entire planet is against us, and we're supposed to act civilized about it. And regardless of if people on a peer-to-peer level like and respect you, globally it's not the case, and that's the problem. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. We're at an hour and 28 minutes. I really wasn't trying to have this episode be so heavy-handed. It's not even my style, to be honest, but like I said, I just had to blow off some steam real quick. Um,
It was needed.
yeah, I think it was needed.
It was.
Any other words, following closing words from my two beautiful humans?
Keep your head up.
Um, yeah, definitely keep your head up, but just stay true to your like culture and be more accepting of others. I remember one time, I think this was freshman year, I was talking to one of my close friends at the time. His name was Matthew, and he was light skinned, and he was a like well educated, smart dude, right? And I remember one thing he told me that stuck with me for the longest fucking time. He said that he's um too white for the black people, but too black for the white people, and he felt like he had nowhere to fit in. And that shit is terrifying. The fact that you feel like just because you're like well educated, and you want to like do something with yourself and just go places and just be you, and you feel that you don't fit into any group is just terrifying to me. Uh, Something's got to change.
All right, I think the the closing words that I'll leave the viewers off with today is this: freedom is something that could only be discovered by you. So if you don't feel free, then look within. Um, again, I don't hate white people or anything like that. I just want people to try to understand what it's like to be black in America, because I mean, that's the only way change is going to happen. I don't want black supremacy, because with black supremacy, nothing's going to change. It'll just be like white supremacy. I think the thing that I hate is power. I hate what power do to people. I hate the fact that because people could have power over each other, that it makes us do terrible things to each other. And my final closing words on this episode is going to be this: I feel like we as a people have lost the second we forgot that we were one and that we share one planet. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.